The antidote to guilt is action. If you feel guilt, it's because you are not proud of yourself, because something happened and you did not react or act in the way that you wished that you would. You either did something that you regret doing, or you didn't do something that, again, you regret doing, and then you feel this guilt, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, I can't believe it, I should have. And you're constantly living in this should have zone, in this guilt zone, in this regret zone, instead of doing anything that actually matters, which is take some kind of action. The reason why I'm even an entrepreneur is because I didn't want to feel guilt and regret. I turned down the job that I wanted, I thought I wanted, and my friends all wanted, to own 30% of a startup company and make $300 a month, because even though I didn't know it would work out, I thought I would make more money doing the job. I just felt like I had to know, that I didn't want to get to be an old man and look back on my life and say, back then when I was 19, I had this chance, I could have done something, and what if? Trying to live your life without what ifs. And that gave me the courage to say, you know what, I can wait a year on the job. I'm going to give this business a shot. And whether it works out or doesn't work out, I'd rather know and fail than not know. Right? When I quit on my business partners, worst day of my life. We were making no money. It was not working. We were fighting over what to do next. And I just felt like there was just too much pressure on me. Like, I can't handle this. I turned down this job to do this. I'm spending every day, all day on this thing, and it's just not working. You can only take so much, before you break. And I broke, and I said I quit, and cried my face off. And the next day woke up, I had no idea what to do, but I remembered back to just feeling like I don't want to quit now, because I would feel guilty if I did. I felt guilty for quitting, right? And I could have just sat in that guilt and let it fester and let it build, and then again become an old man and look back on my life and wish that I hadn't done that mistake. Or the antidote to guilt is action. Wake up and go, you know what, I don't want to live with regret. I'm gonna go do this thing. Now, it ended up working out, but a lot of times it doesn't, and that's fine, because if you go with the mantra that you'd rather know and fail than not know, everything starts to change. Most people are so stuck in their guilt that it becomes identity, that it becomes, you are this kind of person. Oh, I always play small, or I'm always afraid, or I'm always too scared to do that thing, or I'm going to say I'm going to do it and then I won't do it, right? We've built ourselves up around this identity that we are living in guilt, we don't follow through, and that we suck. And this is why there's a lack. This is why lack of belief is the number one problem in the world, because we've trained ourselves to constantly feel guilty and stay in that guilt instead of rising through. So how do you actually rise through? How do you get through the guilt to take action? I'm going to give you 3 quick ideas that I think will help. Number 1 is to minimize your regrets. Minimize your regrets. Jeff Bezos calls it the regret minimization framework. And when I first saw that, it's like, that's it. You want to be able to look back on your life and say, I don't have that many regrets. Some things worked out, some things didn't work out, but I'm proud of how I acted. This is how we start to build self-love, self-confidence, self-trust, by being proud of the actions that you take. So the next time you're struggling with a decision, the next time, should I do this or should I do this? Project yourself forward. You're now 120 years old and you're looking back on your life. You're not caught up in the moment, in the day-to-day, and whatever stresses are stressing you out right now. You have perspective on your life. Which decision should you take? 120-year-old you would be proud of you for doing what? A or B? And try to run your filters through that lens. That maybe this thing will work, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll make a fool of myself, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll serve a ton of people with this, maybe I won't. But 120-year-old me would be proud of the choice that I make. Try to run your decisions through that framework. You minimize your regrets, you take a lot more calculated risks, and you'll be a lot happier with your life too. Number 2 is pay attention to the patterns. We have guilt patterns. You have a pattern of guilt. The same things keep coming up over and over and over and over again that will keep making you feel guilty over and over and over and over and over again. Think about what made you feel guilty in the past, or maybe you're feeling guilty about something right now. Think about that. What is that thing? that makes you feel guilty. Pay attention to it. Maybe it's too late to act. Maybe the person that you wish you could have apologized to, maybe they've passed on and there's no way to have the conversation, right? Like maybe in some situations, there's nothing that you can do to fix the thing that happened in the past. Okay. But paying attention to the pattern is important because that thing's going to come up again. Because if you've had lots of great ideas and never acted on it, guess what's going to happen? More ideas will keep coming back up to you. Life keeps throwing the same lessons at you until you learn them. This is your chance. This is your chance to learn them. So the next great idea that you have, do something about it. It's like, oh, there it is again. There it is again. There's a new idea. Oh, I'm playing small again. That when you can start to catch it, so it's not just something that happened a year ago or 10 years ago, but it's going to keep happening again. Different forms, not the same idea, not the same person, not the exact same situation, but it's the same idea. It will keep happening to you until you learn the lesson. There are patterns of guilt. And when you figure that out, it allows you to act a different way, a new way, a better way, a more bold way, a prouder way that 120-year-old you, back to point one, would feel happy with. That if you can pay attention to the patterns, you can make a better decision the next time it comes up. And step number 3 is to step into service. Serving others heals a lot of wounds. When you feel like you've let yourself down, you've let other people down, that you're no good for anybody, that's the path down to anxiety and stress and regret and guilt and all the negative emotions. The easiest path out is to go help. Is to go feel like you are valuable, like you're doing something meaningful today. And meaning comes from impacting somebody else's life. Maybe it's impacting 1 million people by making video content or building your product or service or company. Maybe it's impacting the life of one person by having a meaningful conversation. Maybe it's holding the door for somebody or complimenting somebody, giving somebody a smile, asking somebody how they're doing. It doesn't have to be some giant act that requires $1 million to go off and do. You can choose whenever you want to have a meaningful impact on somebody's life. And when you feel that, when you step into service, it shifts how you feel about yourself. It shifts the self-identity from I'm worthless, from I constantly do this, from I'm keep making mistakes, I keep playing small, to I can bring value to other people. I can help. Get addicted to that. Because when you realize I can help, like you want to do it again. I want to help some more. I want to help on a bigger scale. I want to help on a deeper scale. I want to help. I want to keep doing that. It's going to lead you down a much brighter path because humans are built to serve. And if you're not happy, you're not serving. The antidote to guilt is action. Sitting there on your couch, feeling sorry for yourself, living in regret of all the things that you did wrong or should have done but didn't, doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family. It doesn't serve your community. It doesn't serve the world. It doesn't serve you to just sit there thinking about it, feeling bad for yourself. The answer is action. You can build an entirely new you. A you that you're proud of. A you that's having a huge impact. A you that when you look back on your life, you say, that was a great life. I'm so happy with the choices that I made. That's possible if you can use guilt and flip it into action. If you want another Evan rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. Living your life based off how other people think of you is the fastest way to hating your life.